Well, joining us now to talk us through what the next presidency of the United States might be like, Donald Trump coming into power for the second time. Ian Bremmer, thank you very much for being with us.
Sure.
The next couple of years are going to be very interesting. Let's go through some of the key points. Firstly, Trump has spoken about mass deportations. Do you expect that to be top of his priority list?
Very close, and especially in these early days before you have the confirmed appointees actually around him in the White House. That means the people that are closest are going to be his senior advisors. They're very interested in moving this aggressively. I could easily imagine 1 million deportations in the first year. And I also think that that reality will put a chilling effect on the decision processes of people that are in the United States, people that are thinking of coming to the United States. So clearly the numbers are going to be significant.
Tariffs is another issue which is important. It affects us in India as well. Do you expect him to take a hardline position on tariffs?
Yes, though the numbers are not going to be the campaign headline. You're not going to have 60% tariffs on all Chinese exports. But in the early days, first weeks or even days, I expect you'll see the initial imposition of new meaningful tariffs on China. You'll see an effort to put more pressure on a bunch of allies for individual tariffs as well. In other words, I don't think the markets have priced this inadequately yet. That's my view.
India is a close strategic partner. The strategic relationship has been pretty even from across administrations.
Right.
Do you expect that trend to continue? Tariffs could be an issue.
Yeah, that's true. And I think the pressure is going to be on the technology side. Trump is going to demand a closer relationship, more alignment from the Indians on tech. I think that's something that Prime Minister Modi is broadly disposed to do.
Yep.
Anyway, the big challenge for India is going to be about the U.S.-China relationship. It's the fact that the U.S.-China relationship is going to get worse. There's going to be decoupling. There's going to be more confrontation, maybe even a trade war. And India is going to have a harder time navigating that in the next year than they had under the last four with Biden. Also on Russia.
Go ahead.
There's going to be more sanctions on Russia that are going to hit India's trade with Russia as we get closer to a negotiation. Right?
Do you expect the oil sale from Russia to India being potentially impacted?
To be further impacted. And I think that because it is going to be hard for Trump to get Putin over the finish line, India's relationship is going to be under more pressure, definitely.
Getting Putin over the finish line, what needs to be done? Do you expect the Ukraine war to end in a finite period of time?
No, I don't expect it to end in the near term, but I do think that later this year, we will probably get a ceasefire. Now, Trump has on many occasions said it's very easy to do. It'll just take a day, 24 hours, he can end the war. He sometimes exaggerates. This is one of those sometimes. It's going to take months to even get negotiations started. I do think that Trump is very willing to talk with Putin directly. Biden had not been. That will obviously facilitate things. He's also assertively asked for China to get involved. That was a topic of conversation between Trump and Xi Jinping in the last few days. That will help if it happens. But we are not close to a ceasefire yet. Even when a ceasefire happens, that's very different from ending the war.
Two more questions. TikTok.
Yeah.
Trump says that perhaps it needs to be given an extension.
Yeah.
How does that play out? And do you expect Elon Musk to potentially pick it up?
I think we have no idea who would pick it up if it was pick-up-able.
Yep.
But I'm not clear that the Chinese are prepared to sell it. It takes two. And for China to give up TikTok, including the algorithms, which make it valuable, they would clearly need something significant in return from the Trump administration. It's not clear to me that they're on the precipice of getting that. And also, I don't know that Trump can extend this.
All right.
I mean, this is a law that was passed, bipartisan support, House and Senate and Congress, 9-0 Supreme Court ruling upholding the law.
Yeah.
And now Trump is saying, well, I can just change the law. No, he can't.
Yeah.
And Republican Senior Senator Tom Cotton, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson have both said publicly that this is beyond the pale what Trump is doing. So there is significant pushback from a balance of power that still exists.
A final question.
Yeah.
Canada and Greenland. Was just a big exaggeration on Trump's part? Canada is a new state of America, and Greenland he wants.
So
he wants Canada as well.
First time he ran for president, he wasn't as powerful, but he talked about Mexico going to pay for the wall that he's going to build. It's 2025. Have the Mexicans paid anything? No, but the Mexicans did increase border security on the southern border of Mexico, and that reduced the number of illegal immigrants that came through Mexico into the United States. Trump does have things he wants from Greenland, wants from Canada, wants from Panama. There are economic issues, there are strategic national security issues, and his view of how to get leverage is making these maximal, exaggerated demands. he is not going to put a flag for the United States that will declare ownership. But the pressure will mean that they are going to start responding in a way that is like a supplicant. Let's face it, these are not countries that have a lot of leverage versus the United States.
Ian Bremmer, thank you very much for speaking to us. Ian Bremmer over there telling us a little bit about what he sees coming up next. It's going to be a pretty interesting time going forward with politics in the United States. Donald Trump about to be sworn in as the next president of the United States.